Hi, good afternoon everybody. I'm Charles Wall from A1K9. Apologies if you can hear the dogs in the background, but we thought we would putting out questions and answers on Facebook. I'm joined here by young Lewis, who is down here doing work experience this week and been having a good time, I think. Lewis, no stranger to A1K9. His family came to me many years ago to buy their first A1K9. They've since been back for two more. And that's that. So Lewis, tell me, what have you thought of your week so far of being here doing your work experience?
I've really enjoyed it. It's a different experience to what I have at home with my dogs. Every single dog's different and different temperaments, and it's quite amazing. Every single dog is like, there's not one single dog that's the same in the kennels. It's been good fun.
Well, I see you sat there holding my dog, Izza. I know you've been taking her out as well. How have you found her?
She's been good. She's sharp. She listens great. She never pulls on the lead. She's just a star dog, really.
Well, there we go. I suppose if my dog can't be star dogs, I'm doing something wrong. Sat here with this little fluff ball on my lap here today. Not normally the sort of dog that you see me with, although you've been seeing plenty of my little Dachshunds, haven't you? You weren't aware that we did other dogs though, were you? You just thought it was the protection dogs that we did.
When I first came in 2019, I just came here thinking it was only going to be like Malinois and German Shepherds, and this week has been a bit of an eye-opener seeing that you do all kind of dogs, big and small, different shapes and sizes. So.
Izza wants to say hello to the fluff ball, but I don't know what the fluff ball's going to say about that. For a little dog that weighs 1.6 kilos, she can have a fairly good account of herself, but that's fairly typical with some of the smaller dogs that we deal with. But to give you a little bit of background, because I know that you follow our socials and stuff like that, but for years and years we've been training dogs. We train dogs for protection work, we train dogs for obedience, we train dogs with behavioural issues. We do a little bit of everything that's sort of obedience related. And the protection dogs, I suppose, has been our speciality for the last 30 odd years, and that's what we're sort of best known for. But we've just started running a bit of an advertising boost on our residential training, because a lot of people out there struggle with base training of their dogs. Some of the things that I would regard as easy, other people find really difficult. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said every single dog is different. Unfortunately, when you get as old as I am, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, you tend to have developed a fair bit of experience along the way with all different types of dogs, and you have the ability to, if you like, read what's in front of you and to the best way you can to sort of pick up what makes individual dogs tick. And they're all different. Some dogs will be biased for food, others for praise, others for a ball. It's a case sort of mixing it up, hitting on what that dog likes, what floats its boat. But you've probably seen that already with some of the dogs this week. If I had to ask you, who's your favourite dog in the A1K9 kennel at the moment?
I think I'd say Henk. He's a beast of a dog. He's really enjoyable to take out for a walk, good with the obedience training. He stays by your side all the time, he wants to be with you.
And that's not a bad testament to a dog that's as highly trained as Henk, for him to be comfortable with somebody he doesn't know, taking him out, and he's happy to work for you as well.
I think he'd be happy to work for anyone. Obviously not if they're attacking you, but happy to work for anyone who's for it.
I don't know so much. I think he'd be pretty happy to give an account of himself if somebody came to attack you. Maybe we'll try that before you finish off your week of work experience and you can see for yourself, but I reckon you'd be the safest young man walking around if you had Henk next to you. You've grown up with, I think, mainly German Shepherds, although you've had other breeds as well. I know you've had Spaniels and your dad used to train Spaniels. But how have you found the difference with the A1K9 dogs to the non-A1K9 dogs that you've had?
I think one of the main differences is the calmness that they bring. They come into the house, after playing with a ball, after doing a bit of obedience, they come and lie on their beds, you don't hear a squeak from them for the rest of the night. Where with other dogs, they're a bit needy and they want to be with you all the time, where the dog's just calm, they do what you ask them to.
So really it does what it says on the tin.
Exactly that.
What's the next one? While you've been here this week, what else have you managed to brush up on skill-wise? I know you're used to handling your own dogs, but have you learnt anything since you've been here this week that you didn't know before?
I think I've learned quite a bit about how the different body language of yourself helps with the movement of the dog and how he or she reacts to your commands and how you're acting. So
I've got to say, for your age, Lewis, you are definitely in front of your years in your ability to handle the dogs, but I put that down to the fact that I said you've grown up with them. What would you say to a family who maybe had kids, because you were very young when your parents first had A1K9s, what would you say to any family thinking about how they're going to integrate a trained family protection dog with their kids?
I think, as you said, I was young. I was only 8 when we first had our first protection dog. A family who's got young kids, it would be fine because Charles chooses a dog that suits how your family acts. So dogs would be fine around young children, fine around babies, fine around any age, as long as they're the right suit for your family.
I think that comes down, that's probably what I say to everybody, which is why I encourage people to come and visit us. Because it's all very well liking a picture of a dog on the internet, but just because you like the look of it doesn't mean it's going to be the perfect fit for you or your family. And in many cases, and I know that the first time your parents came down here, your dad had ideas of a working line German Shepherd, but because of the family dynamic at the time, you actually went away with a show line female that I believe fitted in really well. The last two that you've had have been 2 working line females, and I know much to your dad's disappointment, if you like, tongue in cheek, the dog that he really picked for himself has sort of gravitated towards you, hasn't it?
Yeah, the Indy, she's been just with me from the start. My dad picked her for himself and she waits for me at the bottom of the stairs. She comes everywhere with me, has her breakfast with me, comes and watches TV with me, and she just loves to be with me and I love to be with her.
Well, I think the bond says a lot for it. That there are, at least the old man's still talking to you, that's one plus for it.
So enough about me. How many A1K9 dogs have you currently got?
I think we've got about 22 dogs available currently. Most of those are protection dogs. There's a couple of obedient pets amongst them. We've got a few dogs that are due to be going out over the next few weeks. We got Ziggy, the giant schnauzer, due to be going off to Bermuda. Viper and Ellie now, their handover's done, so we're just waiting for them to go out. So that'll make for a bit more space in the kennel, but I think this time of year we're preparing ourselves for the summer. We get a lot of dogs coming back in for refresher training while their owners go away. We've got a couple of sort of special orders for you, like this little fluff ball included. I was asked to source a teacup pom and train it. Well, guess what? On my lap is a teacup pom who's only been with us for a couple of days now. We're going to get stuck into the training on that, just teaching her the basics of obedience, walking nicely on a lead, sitting when she's told, downing when she's told, stays, all the basic stuff that we teach the bigger dogs, but just going to customise it to a little dog. We'll probably teach her a few cute tricks as well. And then I've got a Cocker Spaniel to train for the same people. So that's on the obedience side of things. And then on the protection side, well, we've got quite a few dogs ordered over in Europe. We're waiting for those to come over. They'll probably be coming in about September time. But with us, there's a long lead time in training the dogs, so a lot of work ahead. For any thoughts on what you're going to do when you leave school? Because I know I was talking to you about that the other night and your head's still up in the air as to what you want to do.
I think I love to do something that involves dogs and maybe going into the police, but I know it's very hard to get a job like that. Or just starting up something on my own with dogs in my area.
Well, there we are. From what I've seen this week, young man, you are a little bit of a natural, but I do get spoilt with video clips that Mum and Dad send through to me occasionally. Just to recap though, as I said, you're on A1K9 number 3.
We started off obviously in 2019. We had a showline female called Honey,
Right.
and sadly she passed away last year, and we came back for 2 more. So we've got Anya, a working line female. She's a little princess really, gets away with a bit of everything at home. And then we've got another working line female called Indy. She's a bit older, doesn't get around as fast as the others, but she'll still run and get a ball, still do everything that big dogs will do. And then we also directly sourced a dog from Genopo, which is where Charles gets his dogs from, and he's the big fluffy bull really.
Arnie, his name, isn't it?
Yeah, Arnie.
Yeah. Is he called Arnie because he's a big bruiser?
Named after Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, there we go. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the little insight from Lewis and myself on his week of work experience. We're going to start doing a lot more on the Facebook platform, video-wise, answering questions and other bits and pieces. And Kira, who does all of our social media now, is constantly out there looking to glean extra shots that she can put on, reels, stories. Which I think she's doing a super job of it. which means me, the old man, I can be left just to training the dogs and taking the pictures, which I probably still take about 95% off. Anyway, I'm sure that Kira will keep you all amused with the stuff that's going on socials. So at 61 now, I'm doing TikToks, can't believe it. And with a bit of luck, God willing, I shall be back to address you all again soon. Hope you've enjoyed the short video and look forward to catching up with you again.